Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm back with a very different kind of video. Generally I don't make this kind of videos because it is a type of game where every player have their own perspective and we can't say a particular champ is rank 1 or rank 2. But still I figured out that most of the players want to see this kind of videos. That's why I'm making it. So I have made this list based on the players from uncollected to Paragon, and I'm saying this because it means a lot. For example, Crossbones for a Thronebreaker or Paragon player can easily be a top 5 or top 10 champ based on his damage. His damage is one of the best in the entire game, and he is great against the hashtag hero champs, which makes him a very niche champ because you can't get that same utility when you were using him against a villain champ or a mercenary champ, and there are many other categories. And the ramp up process of Crossbones is really very hard and it requires a lot of skill. That's why I can't say an uncollected player to rank up Crossbones right now. So that's why you will see a lot of very good champs who are unable to, who were not in the top 10, who were unable to make it to the top 10. So I will like to mention them first. So at first we have Black Widow Deadly Origins. So I really like her animations, her play style, the way she applies the shocks. She is a great counter for selective time stream node, the Kang boss as well as the Gwen boss in Act 7. And yeah, she's a great champ, but she was not good enough to make it to the top 10. I'm sorry for that. And then we have Elsa Bloodstone. So Elsa is also a great champ. She can do a lot of things. She has a very unique way of finding openings, and she can shrug debuffs, apply a lot of debuffs. She can do a lot of things, but yeah, she is not in the top 10. Then we have Black Panther, the OG Black Panther. So Black Panther, I was thinking about putting him in the top 10 because he can reduce opponent's ability accuracy by 99%, and but he needs to be at a high sig for doing that, and his playstyle is very risky. So yeah, that's why I'm not keeping him in the top 10. And then we have Agent Venom. So Agent Venom is one of the best damage dealers in the game if you have those two synergies, which is very difficult for an uncollected player to get, as well as a Cavalier player also. Even I don't have Scorpion and Kraven. So that's why Agent Venom is a very synergy dependent champ. If you don't have those synergies, he's useless. That's why I'm not keeping him in the list. And then we have Crossbones. So yeah, I explained why Crossbones is not in the top 10. And then we have my favorite champ, Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. So I have made a lot of videos about him. He can also solo Labyrinth Electro, which I'll be uploading in 1 or 2 days. He can fight Korg. He can reduce 100% ability accuracy, so he can do a lot of things. But for that he needs a synergy, which is not meaningful because you can't use 4-star champs in Act 6 or Act 7. So a Cavalier player may not have Electra or Psylocke, and they may have Electra, but she is useless. So I think you guys get the point. Yeah, so and there is another last champ which I want to mention, that is Massacre. So Massacre is also having a very unique playstyle in which you have to hit the opponent's block a lot, and he can also do some really niche things. He is great against some of the most scariest defenders, but still I was unable to put him in the list. So now let's start our top 10 list. So at number 10 we have Valkyrie. Now you guys might be thinking, if champs like Daredevil Hell's Kitchen and Black Panther, Black Widow, they are not in the top 10, why she is in the top 10? So I have kept her in the top 10 only for one reason, and that is for her way of countering Unstoppable. So you just need to have the PS buffs on you, and if you keep those on yourself throughout the fight, you will be countering any Unstoppable. So that makes her one of the best Abyss counters also. and there are other nodes like Aspect of War, which is a very tough node, so she can easily deal with that. And she is having a very good damage output if you know how to use her. She is a great damage dealer, and she is having one of the highest prestige in the entire game, which is very important for endgame players. That's why she is at number 10. And number 9 we have Hitmonkey. So I was considering on removing Hitmonkey from the top 10, but still he is the only champ in the skill class apart from Moleman who can do guaranteed critical hits. Now for Moleman for Moleman also you have to enter the frenzy in order to do that. And when you enter frenzy, sometimes you will lose the true accuracy, which will remove a lot of utility. But Hitmonkey can do guaranteed crits as well as guaranteed bleeds, and he can counter evade as well, which makes him a great option for the top 10 champ in the skill class. So at number 8 we have Falcon. So after the buff, Falcon has been a great champ. A lot of players are using him because of his control over the defender. So when he enters lock on, he completely reduces opponent's defensive ability accuracy, and yeah, the fight is completely yours from that point. So that brings him at number 8 position. And at number 7 we have two champs, Hawkeye and Stealth Spider-Man. You guys might be surprised by seeing Hawkeye, but yeah, I think Hawkeye is a very underrated champ, especially after his buff. I prefer Hawkeye over Stealthy if I have to counter Evader Unstoppable, because in order to apply the slow debuff with Stealth Spidey, you have to perform a 6-hit combo ending with a light attack, which may not be possible in places like Mixmaster. And if you want to counter miss, Stealthy can also counter miss. That's why he is at number 7. But in nodes like Tunnel Vision, it will be very difficult to apply the slow debuff on the opponent. But still, if we keep aside those two nodes, he can counter evade Unstoppable miss in a great way, and he's also having some great damage output. And for Hawkeye, he can counter evade Unstoppable in a very easy way. You have to just throw your heavy attack, and his heavy reach is also quite good. And once you ramp up his damage is also great. If you check out the Labyrinth fights or Abyss fights in the YouTube, there are a lot of those kind of fights with Hawkeye. You will understand how powerful Hawkeye is. So that's why they are both in top 7. And then we have Moleman. So I thought Moleman should not be put in this list because all that happened after that, rank down things and all that. But still, he's one of the best evade and auto block counter in the entire game, and he can also do those critical hits, guaranteed critical hits throughout the whole fight, which is a very niche utility. It is very helpful in some cases, and very few champs can do that. That's why he is in number 6. So in number 5 we have Kingpin. So Kingpin is one of the best buff, I will say, because he is a champ who is very versatile nowadays. He can do a lot of things, especially with his tankiness. You can like eat 10 to 15 hits in Alliance Sword and you can still survive. He is that much tanky. He gets some constant regen from his rage debuffs, and he can also reduce ability accuracy through his special one, and that ability accuracy can be reduced up to 120%. So that's a huge utility. That's why he is at number 5. And number 4 we have Killmonger. Now you guys might be debating over the fact why I kept Killmonger at such a high position. So Killmonger, we know that it is one of the best defenders in Alliance War as well as in the quests. If you don't have any armor break champ, or there are nodes like Readable Determination where it becomes very difficult to fight him. But apart from his defensive utilities, he is insane in attacking also. if you rank a 5-star Killmonger to rank 5, his damage is good enough to finish a fight quickly, and the way he controls his true strike, it is one of the best in the entire game, because it doesn't depend on your performance. I mean, you don't have to perform some heavy attacks or perform a certain combo to uh, enable that true strike. You have to just hit the opponent as soon as they throw their special attack, as soon as they complete their special attack, and you will immediately get that true strike. So I think the control so I mean to say, what I mean to say is, the way he keeps his true strike and the way he applies his true strike, it's great. And the counter punch charges which he gets from special 1, they're great for intercepting the opponent and just easily getting a opening in a stun immune matchup. And the indestructible charges which he gets after special 2 are also great if you are fighting a champ like Hyperion, where you have to tank a special 3. So all these things makes Killmonger a very good champ, and I will request you guys to try him out. Just realize how good he is, how powerful he is. Then at number 3, so number 1, 2, 3, these 3 are my favorite champs, and I can place these 3 in any order. I mean, I can. So at number 3 I have kept Shang-Chi, at number 2 I have kept Aegon, and at number 1 I have kept Nick Fury. These 3 champs are so good. I can keep Shang-Chi at rank 1 and I can keep Nick Fury in rank 3 also. I mean, so they are so good and they are so close in their rankings. That's why instead of giving them ranks, I would like to say these 3 are the best champs in their class, because if you see them one by one, Shang-Chi can perform 4 different utilities just from performing his basic combos. He can counter evaded unstoppable, he can become unblockable, break through a block, he can stun an opponent through a block, and he can shrug off 3 debuffs at a time if you use it properly. And once you ramp up his damage, he can throw some big special attacks, you know. So this proves how much versatile character he is and how many things he can do at once. So that's why I'm saying that I can easily replace Nick Fury from rank 1 and keep Shang-Chi in that place. Same goes with Aegon. So Aegon is such a champ who can counter so many things at once, but the only drawback is his ramp up and his sig ability. So for an uncollected player or a cavalier player to max sig him will be a little difficult, but nowadays I think Kabam is giving enough rewards to take a 5-star champ to max sig. But still there is a question of ramping up, so that's why I will not keep him at rank 1. But still, the things he can do, no other champ can do all those things. He can reduce ability accuracy, he can become unblockable, he can counter evade auto block, he gains buffs. Yeah, and his damage is also over the roof when he completely gets ramped up. So that's why he's also a top 3 skill champ. And then we come to Nick Fury. So Nick Fury is also a very versatile champ like Shang-Chi. He can counter evade, auto block and miss at once. He is such a type of champ, and in his first life, if he is unduped, then his damage is not that good. It is quite good but not enough. But if he is duped, and when you die once with him and you enter the second life, then his damage is on a whole another level. And the way he counters all this miss, evade, and when he becomes unblockable, completely unblockable, and he remains like that throughout the fight. You guys might be thinking you have to stay at 30% health, which is very dangerous. But if you think properly, when you become unblockable, you don't have to find intercepts, you don't have to block the defender to find an opening. You can just hit their block to get an opening. So that's why I think Nick Fury is one of the best champs in the entire game, because of his unblockable mechanic. And as I said, the damage is also insane. If you take a 6-star rank 3 Nick Fury in Abyss, you will be able to solo fights like Yellow Jacket also, who is having 5.7 million HP with big boost, of course. Yeah, in general he is also a great counter for Abyss. So I think that's the end of the video. I will again request you guys, if you have any different opinion, you can share that in the comments. And yeah, it's just my perspective, my thinking, so I can be wrong also. I will leave it to you guys to decide if it's right or wrong. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends. See you guys in the next video.